Welcome to this advanced manufacturing class. So this is the 15th lecture of non-traditional machining process. So this lecture we are going to see about the electrochemical machining process part 2. So let's see what are the contents of the lecture. So we are going to see about the tool material used for ECM, and the second we are going to see about the electrolyte, and third we are going to see about the properties of electrolyte, and the fourth we are going to see the advantages of ECM and the disadvantages of ECM, then the applications of ECM. First, we are going to see about the tool material for ECM. So the general requirements of tool materials are as follows. So the electrolyte, the tool material, it should be a good conductor of electricity, and it should have a good machinability. It should be chemically inert. It should be chemically inert to the electrolyte. That is, it should not react with the electrolyte. So it should not be chemically reactive with the electrolyte. So it should have a high thermal conductivity. High thermal conductivity means it should conduct a high temperature. It should withstand with a high temperature during the machining process. And the most important thing, it should be anti-corrosive in nature. So if it is easily corrosive, means then it will be then the materials will corrode, and the materials will be react in the electrolyte, and the material will lost its property. So it should be anti-corrosive. The commonly used tool materials are copper, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, graphite, bronze, and tungsten. So these are the things, or these are the general requirements of tool material for the ECM. Tool material means the electrode which we are using, or the one which are using as a cathode in the electrochemical machining process. You can see some of the tools which are used in the ECM. So as we are last class we saw that in last lecture we know that all the tools having a small holes inside the tools, that which is used to send the electrolytes through the tools in the machining location. Now we are going to see about the electrolyte. Okay, so these are the functions of electrolyte. It's as follows. This electrolyte should carry current between the tool and the workpiece. So the term electrolyte, it mentioned as it's defined as it should, or it must carry the current between the tool and the workpiece, and it should dissipate the heat produced in the process. Okay, it should carry away the heat produced in the location where the machining processes happen. It should carry away the products of reaction away from the machining area. It should carry away the products of reaction means it should carry away the small machining parts, the micro particles which are removed from the workpiece, that should be carried away from the machining area. Okay, and it should flow with high velocity. This electrolyte should flow with high velocity, and it should allow the electrochemical reaction to occur. So this electrolyte is also function to allow the electrochemical reaction to occur between the tool and the workpiece, so that the metal or material removal process is happening in that workpiece. So next, the final and the foremost thing is the commonly used electrolytes are, these are the commonly used electrolytes: sodium nitrate, sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, sodium sulfate, and sodium fluoride, potassium nitrate, potassium chloride, and etc. And in industries, these are the commonly used electrolytes. Now let's see the properties of electrolyte. So the electrolyte should possess the following properties. The first thing is it should have a highly electrical conductivity, so that then only the electricity will pass through the electrolytes, pass through the tool, and there is a electrical reaction, the chemical reaction will start along with the electricity between the tool and the workpiece. So the electrolyte should must have process high electrical conductivity, and this electrolyte should not have a it should have a non-corrosive and non-toxic in nature. Non-corrosive means it should not corrode the other metal particles. This electrolyte should not corrode the other metal particles, and it should not be not poisonous in nature. It must have a low viscosity and high specific heat. Okay, then, and it must be chemically stable. It should not react with the other metals and produce different reaction, so that it should be chemically stable. It is inexpensive and readily available. Okay, if it is expensive and it's not readily available, means there is no useful in the industry. So this electrolyte must be easily available and should be inexpensive. Now let's see the advantages of ECM. So first thing, the processor no tool wear, so tool life is high. Here the tool has a very less or no tool wear, so the tool life is high. The second thing, it generates a burr-free surface. Burr-free surface means you will not feel any scrap or any small burrs in the corner or in the surface. You will feel the smooth finish in the surface, and the metal removal rate is high in this ECM process, and it is used for profiling and contouring of complex shapes. So wherever we need to have a machining of profiling, or having a complex shapes machine, we can go for this ECM process. Now let us see the disadvantages of ECM. Yes, it is heavy initial investment. So this ECM process having a high initial investment, and the power consumption, it having a high power consumption. See, it cannot produce sharp corner and edges. So the main disadvantage is that it cannot produce sharp corner and edges. And the one among the main disadvantages, it can used only with the electrically conductive material, but non-electrically conductive material we cannot go for machining in this process. And for this ECM machining process, we need a flow space area, more flow space area required. Now let us see the applications of ECM. This ECM process can be used for die sinking operations and drilling a jet engine turbine blades. Okay, so if you go for a jet engine turbine blades, we need a small drilling holes. That for that small drilling holes, micro drilling, that we can do in the ECM process, and the multiple hole drilling. Okay, this multiple hole drilling also that we can use done in this ECM process, and for the steam turbine blades can be machined within closed limits. So these are some of the applications of ECM process. You can see this turbine blades, small holes. You can see these are used in that. You can see the surface finish, burr-free surface finish. You can see how the smoothness and the sharp edges. Now let's see the summary of the lecture. So this lecture we saw about the tool material which is used for ECM, and the next we saw about the properties of electrolyte, and the next we saw about the advantages of ECM, the next saw about the disadvantages of ECM, and the last we saw about the applications of ECM. And this is the reference which I used for this lecture. Thank you students, thank you for this lecture. We'll see you in the next class.